Reports indicate that a massive portion of the industry workforce has been let go, leaving the stability of traditional studio roles in doubt. For developers who find genuine pleasure in the craft, the plotting, coding, and the building, going indie is the logical path forward. But the challenge changes the moment you try to make a living from it. Survival in this business requires a level of output that a single person rarely possesses. Historically, a solo developer had to master every discipline simultaneously: the code, art, music, SFX, and marketing. High-level skills like writing complex shaders were often locked behind courses that cost thousands of dollars, making advanced education a major financial hurdle. For developers in Eastern Europe, these prices were prohibitive, creating a systemic barrier to entry based on geography alone. Without mentorship or the budget of a full studio, the solo developer was likely to fail against the sheer volume of work required to publish. Solo developers do now use AI as a senior software architect, a partner that analyzes project data and actively challenges flawed logic. Self-taught developers often write linear code for a simple mechanic, like a gun spawning a projectile, but AI identifies missing complexity, forcing you to consider object ownership, connecting the weapon to its carrier and targets. A simple script suddenly becomes a system. By tracking the entire project structure, the AI can advise you on high-level decisions, like building a modular plugin instead of a messy actor component. This shift elevates the developer from a laborer focused on lines of code to an architect managing a macro-level system. AI condenses the research phase. Topics in biology or psychology that used to take months of study to integrate into a story can now be synthesized in days. Production tools like 11 Labs provide studio-quality voice work and translation in minutes, filling out the audio and localization roles of a full studio almost instantly. However, limits remain. AI still struggles with nonverbal expression and the high technical demands of software like Houdini. It can handle the volume of work, but it still requires a human director to guard the output and ensure the final product makes sense. By automating the bulk of research and asset generation, AI allows a solo developer to match the production output of a traditional studio. The consequence of this shift is a flooded market. The difficulty is no longer in building the game, but in proving it is worth playing. Capturing audience attention in a market saturated with new titles has become the primary hurdle for survival. The friction of development has been traded for the friction of visibility. As solo developers build more complex, AI-assisted multiplayer systems, they face a new set of macro-level threats. Changing APIs and the rising costs of defensive security make maintaining a live game increasingly difficult for a single person. There is also the looming threat of overregulation, where a rigid bureaucratic model could stifle the very innovation that AI has enabled. Solo developers now have the power to architect entire worlds. Their survival now depends on their ability to navigate global bureaucracy and win the war for attention.